I recently had a friend of mine who's a Christian ask me, "So what you're describing is the born again experience?" And I said, "Well, I guess you could call it that. Um, what did Jesus really mean when he said you must be born again?" Um, the way I look at it is it's an awakening. Uh, and let me clarify. I'm not saying I'm awakened or woke, and not at all. It's an ongoing experience for me. It's an awakening when it when you discover who you truly are. It's a process because you've got your higher self, and then you've got your ego, and the ego thinks it knows everything, and is constantly questioning everything, and it's there to defend you, to protect you. It's not like the ego doesn't have a purpose. But all of a sudden, you come to a point where you realize that this person you think you are, which it's attached to your ego, is not really you. Um, you are a spirit being. I existed before I came into this physical body. So I am having a spiritual experience as a human. And so this awakening, um, let me just share this with you. It's hard to define because it's more of an experience than it is intellectual. In fact, the awakening comes through your spirit, through your heart, into your mind. And when you first experience it, it flows through you. And and then later on, your mind begins to try to understand what it is and how it happens. Not that the mind has to understand, because um, I don't have to understand everything completely. I just have this knowing within my heart about what is happening and sensing and experiencing the transformation that I'm going through. So when we think you can try to figure out this awakening through your logic, through your mind, you're fooling yourself, because that's the ego's way of saying, "Look what I did," or "Look who I am." Because the ego wants to feel like it has to do something. When it comes to awakening, it's more about doing less and opening up and experiencing. That's why I have learned to meditate, and I encourage people to learn to meditate, to get quiet and allow your heart and the Holy Spirit within you to speak to you. Because as long as the ego and the mind is chattering, you're not going to hear what the Spirit is trying to say. So, you have to sit, get quiet, and let that chatter of your ego volume go down, and you open up. And I sometimes do it through concentrating on my breathing. I do it through listening to sound music. But the most important thing is to refocus inwardly and not outwardly. Because what I'm looking for is inside of me. It's not out here. This out here is a distraction. And not that we're not to live in this world, because I live in two worlds. I live in this matrix, physical world, and yet I'm living now in another dimension, in a spiritual world at the same time. Is that possible? Yes, I think it is. Yeah. Is it possible to completely leave this world and still have a physical body? No, I don't know about that one. That I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. Because no matter what state I'm in, I will always be in spirit. And so I hope that maybe this is a little bit enlightened for you, and that maybe you can uh, have some insight as to your own awakening that's happening. It's very real. It is a transformation. And I encourage you to give your thoughts and your heart to being open and hearing this message. God bless. Namaste.